I'm a history guy. Love history. Before I got into telecom many years ago, I was a history teacher, and a book that I would write would be a book about my grandfather, J.T. Tate, who is my mom's father, and he, like about 1.5 million others during the Great Depression and leading up to World War II. After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, he left the fields, signed up for the army, went over and fought and was wounded in France. And he came back and put himself through college. He's got an amazing story. And he always had this amazing wit and wisdom, as so many did that lived through all those events. And I've actually got a picture of him here. So there's my grandfather there in his army uniform when he's 18 years old and fresh out of the field and out of boot camp there, but right before he went over to Europe. But he was, we always like to say he was like the real life Andy Griffith, Andy Taylor from the Andy Griffith Show. I mean, he was just a brilliant guy, low key, had more wisdom than his years. And he was just a great man who was in a great generation, and saw a lot of change in the country. And he was just a great guy. So if I were to write a book, it would be about him, about his life, about the people around him, and the things that he built. And he did so quietly, never wanted or needed any recognition for it. He just wanted to build great things and love his family. And so that's what he did. He was a great guy. So it would be a book to discuss him and his life and the people around him and the things he did, and to honor him.
It's going to be called Your Parents Were Right. And this will be geared towards teenagers and preteens. And it's a compilation of short stories from our groups in the effort of raising a teenager. I can't tell you how many times I've called my dad and complained about what my son's done, and he just laughs. He goes, "Are you serious? Because you remember growing up how you were, and all the times I tried to tell you to do the right thing." And so looking back on that and talking with my friends, then I feel like we can all give our parents credit and also apologize to them for putting them through the ringer growing up. So that's mine.
Before COVID, I had the opportunity to write a portion of a book called The Anatomy of Accomplishment, Your Guide to Bigger, Better, Bolder Business Results. Say that fast 10 times. So it was an anthology of a number of female business owners, and I wrote a little chapter about how I got started as an entrepreneur, as a very shy, scared 10-year-old who went around my neighborhood selling greeting cards and gift wrap to buy a little red microscope that I really wanted. So I was able to do that, but I do think when my telecom career is over, I've probably got a couple of other books in me, because so much of life, you learn the lesson after you really needed it. And so parenting and dealing with aging parents and all these subjects that I wish I'd had a book to read about it. So I think I may have a few of those subjects in me.
I thought it was really funny that you asked this question on Friday, because I'm in the process of helping a friend write a book right now on parenting teenagers. I happened to get roped into teaching middle school Bible study at church about a decade ago, and have spent years teaching middle schoolers, kind of by accident. I had no intention of being a middle school Sunday school teacher, but it just kind of happened to me. And now that my kids are teenagers, I have a friend who is a pastor, and she's writing a book about parenting teenagers. And so she asked me to be part of her team. And I've really been talking with her about the audience and the strategy for the book, more than the actual writing. So I'm not getting to write it, which is probably better for everyone, but I am really enjoying participating on a team that's doing something that Cheryl just said. That's I wish we had that. There's so many books on parenting young children, and mostly it's just like Trent's idea for hanging on during the teenage years. And I really would love to be part of creating something that could be helpful for parents that are struggling through all the things that we struggle through when we're parenting our teens.
If we're going to write a book, it would definitely be about closed doors. I've always had, this, you always hear people say, the doors were opened at the right time. And I, for some reason, feel like my story has kind of been the opposite, because I feel like, where I'm at in life as a parent or as a professional is probably more as a result of doors that have been closed that I thought I wanted to go through, than always having the right door open at the right time. And so I think with that, I have learned to really embrace, maybe not enjoy, but to embrace failure as kind of a sharpening tool for the direction you're going. And so certainly as a parenting strategy, I try to get my kids used to that idea that failure is not always a bad thing, and it can be a really beneficial thing for your path. So